Alright, this is part 2 for that 2016 Ford F-350 6.7 Super Duty. With all the medium speed CAN bus issues, you'd have to watch part 1 where the HVAC wasn't working, TPMS, lights flashing like it is right now. Anyways, if you watch part 1, we had issues with their termination resistance. I had all this apart, I still do, and I moved it around. I come in this morning, I move around some more. And everything's good. I got communication again. And if you look here, all this lost comm stuff, airbag stuff. We're going to start fresh here because we restored communication. You can actually do the configuration now. So let's erase all these. I erase all these quick, but like I said, I've been moving those wires around there. Like one's chafing. I'm gonna have to take that apart more just to get behind there. I moved it. I got it away from where it was chafing, but I want to validate all that because it's hard to get up in there. Well, I can get more with this panel off. I may have to go behind that, like I said, the HVAC in part 1. And this is still flashing because the dealership put a BCM in it, didn't finish the configuration because they couldn't talk to all the TPMS stuff. And then look at that, I scanned it again, and it's gray, no comm again. So that wire moved back. Now it's back again. It's coming and going. Now it's gray again. I lost comm again. We had it, I had it, then I didn't have it. Back and forth. When I have it, you can hear the fan work. No comm again. So I'm going to have to get behind this dash, like I said, and go from there. Alrighty, so this is actually the FCIM front control interface module. And if you look here, sorry about the glare. Well, let me rescan it because I have it plugged in. We have no comm here on this side. Well, it's actually unplugged. Sorry, it's unplugged. So I have no comm to the FCIM. But if I plug it back in, it's plugged in. And I scan it, and I'll have comm to the FCIM. So that's the front control interface module. But I have no comm to these modules. The HVAC module is up under here. When I was kind of tapping on this yesterday, or in part 1 and down in here, I would get comm, and I'm moving stuff up here. I would get it once in a while, comm. So I'm gonna get access to that HVAC module next. So just like in part 1, I'm checking the termination resistance here. God, this glare is so bad right now. I got the battery unhooked, key off obviously. Should be 60 ohms across the bus. 2 and 120 ohms in parallel. And it should be 60. Look at that, I hit the seat. And it's moving. I moved the truck, it's moving. You can see it changing bigger. Well, you know what I want to say, but bigger than crap, it's changing. So we got to have 60 ohms across the bus. We don't have 60 ohms. You got to watch part 1 to kind of know what I'm talking about for this part. That's why we don't have comm right now, because we don't have the right resistance across the bus. Now, if I unplug this HVAC module, I got 120. Well, I had 120 until I sat on the seat. Move it again. There, 120. But I move on the seat, it changes with it unplugged. That tells me there's a short. Our wire. Plug it back in. Should get 60. If I move the truck, we get 60. So let me go a little bit farther. Alrighty, I got to hook back up. I'm on pins 3 and 11 for CAN bus, medium speed CAN. Got to have 2.5 bias voltage. Shove a waveform. Anyways, you got to watch part 1 where I'm at with that. If I move this truck, look at that. I got a waveform. I'm just shaking the truck. And I get a waveform. Look at that one. I really rocked the bolt there, rocked the truck. It's really changing. Well, I got a different scope. My other one died. Let's just look at CAN high and CAN low. On the high speed side first. It goes from 2.5 to 3.5 and so forth, right? You have to watch part 1. Now let's go to, look at that, 3 and 11 medium speed CAN. 3's flashing, 11's not. Which I just took. This is 3 here, and that's the red one there, which that bus is good now. And it's not. I think I misspoke in part 1 in the beginning of this. High speed CAN is 2.5 to 3.5 roughly, and 2.5 to 1.5, 1.25 for the negative side of the bus. However, the medium speed CAN bias voltage is 0 volts going up to, 3.5 or whatever. Either ways, we can look at the waveform and see that. The high speed, or medium speed positive is good. The medium speed negative side is not good. And all I was doing is moving back here, because I'm moving the truck and doing different shit. And it always changes. Let me wiggle this again. I need to get this. The medium speed high is good, and I need to get the medium speed low to be good. And then we can finish this and talk to it. However, we got to figure out why. So I'm just moving behind the DLC here. I'm not saying that's where the problem is, but look, I just shook the truck again, and now it went bad again. And I'm literally just shaking it, moving it. We got to find this short, or the bus wires, where the issue's at. So I got to figure out where it's at. All right, so I got air coming out again. That's good. If you look at the scope here, and I moved the harness down there. Look, I got a good waveform. And if I go back to this, let's just go. This doesn't have topology, but if we can talk to the HVAC module, we know we're good, which I expect to, because we have air flowing again. Once we fix all this, we can do the rest of the configuration to get rid of the flashing lights. And my scan tool just died in 1 minute. Alrighty, we got it back on. Everything I have is, I need to charge it all, so I got it plugged in now. My other scan tool scope is charging as well. But anyways, we got air flowing. Look, I got communication to it. Perfect. Let's go back to the scope. And all I did is move that harness back there. Now, is that where the issue is? We got to figure that out. Get the scope connected again. So look, waveform is good for medium speed CAN. So go medium speed CAN low. I like my other scope better, but this is fine. I'll just going from 2.5 down, and then go to the red. Is going 2.5 up. I misspoke earlier in this video. The first video correct, and then the beginning of this video is right. It is a 2.5 bias voltage going up to 3.5, 2.5 going down to 1.5, 1.25, roughly around there. It's the same as high speed, it's just slower rate. So that is good. Let me move this wire again. And it went away. Then it came back. Move this wire again. It's good there. It went away. So it's definitely in that harness. Let me open that harness up and look in there. So look at that. We just lost come to the HVAC, obviously, because it's not talking now. See? Go back to the scope. Let's move it again. And does it right there. So I got to get in there, like I said. All right, so everything's good now. It's actually the harness that goes through the firewall up in there. I'm moving that in and out, which goes up under here into the fuse box here to the firewall. Get up to the fender liner too. That's where the issue's at. Now the key fobs work. So all that works. Now let's relearn the TPMS next. I still got to take those connectors apart more and clean them more. There's a bunch of dirt in there. All right, now I'm redoing the TPMS sensors. No reading there because I have the scope unplugged. HVAC still working. I want to make sure this light goes out. Everything else is good. Configuration of the module's done. For the BCM, the LIN bus is done. LIN initialization, I mean. And we still have TPMS issues. I got to hook up IDS. This keeps stealing, it's failing. Alrighty, so I'm using IDS. You can see all the modules are pinging and talking. When I ping them, they talk. To get this light to stop flashing, we got to finish the initial configuration, which I did a PMI programmable module installation. However, I tried to learn the tires and it's still not learned. We got to fix that first. We'll fix that and we can go back. And I still got to clean that connector more, even though I did some. I want to do a little bit more. We got to do the TPMS stuff next to get that light, which would never even be an issue if they never replaced the BCM, which it did not need from the dealership. Well, the ATEL failed, but I put the vehicle in learn mode. There's a procedure in the service information. And I used the factory forward tool to relearn it. Everything learned, the light went out. It's not flashing no more. TPMS light went out. We're supposed to drive it now. But the light stopped flashing, so let's make sure all of our configuration stuff's good. I cleared the codes, let's read it again. And again, this would have needed to be done if the dealership did not replace the BCM. Because, well, I didn't need a BCM. Like I said, we're going to finish all this configuration stuff up, take that connector apart, clean up those wires. This thing should be done. So let's just validate here the codes. And then I got to put everything back together. Look, no codes at all. Let's reread it here. We'll reread it here. All right, so for the last couple hours, actually last few hours, I've been opening up the harness down here through the firewall because that's where it seemed like it was acting up at while I was scoping it. And up under here, the fender liner. But the CAN bus wires don't actually run through there. Well, they do, but not medium speed CAN, as far as I can tell. I'm just checking all these connections back in here and stuff. Trying to get this thing good to go. Right now it's perfect. Open up the loom. It sure acts like we're getting some voltage bleed over or shorting going on. Once I open it up, relieve pressure. There's one connector on the bare wire. I'm going to fix that, but that's not the CAN bus wire unless I was bleeding over to it. Put some Stabilant 22A on these guys as well for connection issues. So far so good. I'm going to do some more research and give you some more updates here. Well, I loosened those wire up where it was pinch tight, and a connector that I showed in part 1 of the video also had actually integrity issues, so I zip tied all that up. So there's your medium speed high. There's your medium speed low. All good. So now I fixed that connector there. There's another one back there I fixed. And I'm going to tape all those back up. Tape all those back up in there, and we'll do one final scan and we'll be done. Well, I know I keep going back and forth here, but I thought it was this connector. That bare wire is not bare. That's actually a shielded ground. It's made like that. It's not this connector. When we're moving all these wires up under here, up under the fender liner, up under here, it's actually moving the top of this connector up here, which that harness goes up behind the dash. And I was moving it, and I had the clutch out earlier looking behind it, but I can't get to it. But it was like clockwork, right? It's because before we were moving, it was actually moving. We're moving down here, but it's actually moving up there. I got my hand way up back in there, and I could feel some chafing. I was against this piece of metal, and well, felt like metal to me, and then I can actually move it away, and I moved it all the way, and that thing has not done it since. We're gonna keep going from there. Well, like I said, it was a wire way up in there. I can't get on camera because it's way behind the dash. I can feel it chafing. Pulled it out, put some tape around it. It's all good to go. No issue since. I've been test driving it for the last hour, doing stuff, and it never came back. And you can see all of our codes are gone. Everything's green. All the modules we have online. Lights are good, blinkers are good. Before they were blinking fast, everything's working good. Like I said, I've been test driving it. We'll go to bus inspection one more time. Go to medium speed. Man, that's a bad glare. You can see my ugly face. High speed, low speed. And I wiggle the crap out of it now. Move it. Nothing is doing it. Nothing at all. Shake the truck. Nothing at all. It's behind that dash. So it's all fixed. And that is it for this 2016 Ford truck with medium speed CAN bus issues.